Hello everyone and welcome back to another Train Sim World 2 news video. Now Dovetail Games have done an article about the 8F, as tonight we are getting the first look at the 8F on the Spirit of Steam route. So LMS 8F used far and wide. With the 8F set to make an appearance in Spirit of Steam, we will be taking a look at the history of this class of locomotive in a series of articles here on Dovetail Live. The first looks at its widespread use prior to withdrawal in the 1960s. So, William Stanier's black hive locomotives have become some of the most famous in the preservation era, but its freight-bound equivalent, the 8F, receives less fanfare at times, despite being used far beyond most other steam locomotives. We take a look at the full extent of 8F of use in both Britain and beyond, before they were withdrawn in 1968 at the very end of the steam era. So, not just for LMS. Though the 8F has origins in William Stanier and the London Midland and Scottish Railways, the outbreak of the Second World War saw the need for one standard design to assist the monumental freight movements to occur across Britain to the European continent and beyond in the Middle East. Stanier's 8F design was chosen as a result of hundreds of locomotives constructed to this style were produced by a number of different works. Commissioned by the War Department and later the Railway Executive Committee, this scheme saw other major railways undertake building of locomotives in their own works, including the LNER, GWR and Southern. Of the 850 plus individual locomotives produced, only 212 actually came from the LMS works at Crewe and Horwich, respectively. So LMS 212, the North British Locomotive Company 208, LNER 103, GWR 80, Vulcan Foundry 69, SR 130, and the Bayer Peacock and Company 50. Most of the locomotives built were considered LMS property, though loaned by the other Big Four railways during wartime. Only LNER actually built examples for their own use, known as the Class 06, though these were sold to LMS once the Second World War had ended. And not just for Britain. The global nature of the World War resulted in a number of locomotive classes being used overseas, in some cases like the American-built US ATC S160, produced largely with overseas use in mind. The 8F2 saw a number of nations outside Britain, mainly in the Middle East, so Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Turkey at the time, Palestine, and also Israel. All received 8Fs during the 1940s, and after the war, many continued to be used, with the last being reportedly withdrawn by Turkey in the 1980s. Closer to home, Italy also operated 15 8F locomotives that were previously used in Iran. So yeah, they did pretty much go to all different areas of the British Empire and other places as well. So pretty, widespread. So lost to the deep. One of the more mysterious elements of the 8F's history is that of the locomotives, some of them are lost at sea. It is believed that up to 23 examples may be resting on the bottom of the ocean, and two are visible at the wreck of the SS Fisselgorm in the Red Sea, where it meets the Gulf of the Suez. Both locomotives were blown off the deck of the boat by German bombers in 1941, and the ship subsequently sank. It is a popular target for divers due to the variety of cargo left on board. Others are believed to have been lost off of the SS Jessamine and the SS Pentridge Hull. That's obviously, some boats, well, some of the locos did get blown off the deck of boats in the war, they're now at the bottom of the ocean. British Railways. When the Big Four became British Railways in 1948, remaining 8Fs became BR locomotives working mainly in the London Midland region. Locomotive numbers, previously 8XXX, were increased by 40,000 to form 48XXX. Withdrawals began in 1960 and ended during the final year of regular British mainline steam in 1968. Once the era of steam had ended, the number of 8F locomotives were preserved and continued to run on a number of heritage railways. And yeah, that is a little bit of history there about the 8F, which we are going to be seeing in tonight's look at the Spirit of Steam route. Looking forward to it. Yeah, that is the freight locomotive, the 8F. I actually have driven it on Train Simulator on the Netherfield Nottingham network, so feel free to check that out as well. Links can be found in the description to the Discord server, to the PayPal, and to the merch store if you do want to help support the channel. Apart from that, thanks all for coming in, and I hopefully will see you next time. See you all, take care, bye guys.